3 airports, 4 flights, 1 rental car, abnormally cold weather, and 9 days later, I'm back from Athens, Texas, home of the National RV Training Academy. As someone who's attended this school, I think it's important for me to share my experiences. I'll tell you what to expect, then I'll want to wrap up the video with this weird little thing that I learned in school. It's something I've never heard anyone talk about, and I'm willing to bet most of you haven't either. The Fundamentals course is a week-long class held in what they call the Big Red Schoolhouse. On this campus is the Texan RV Park, which is a dedicated park for the people taking classes. Now, if you want to fly in like I did, they have cabins or tiny homes, which is where I stayed. There's a Walmart and other shops in downtown Athens, which is about 15 minutes away, so everything you'll need is conveniently located around the school. You can walk to class in the morning. It's a gorgeous campus. Now, it was freezing the entire week I was there. Texas people sometimes like to brag about their heat. I was there and it was in the 20s and 30s. I'm just saying, but in all seriousness, it is a beautiful campus. The Fundamentals class is mostly run by Todd, who you probably already know, but there are quite a few other instructors you'll work with in the labs, which I'll talk about in a minute. The week is broken down into a few different categories. The big one, of course, is electrical, so you'll learn about AC and DC voltage, batteries, converters, inverters. You'll also learn about the fresh and wastewater systems, the propane system, the appliances, furnace, water heater, oven, refrigerators. You'll learn enough to be dangerous around RV air conditioners as well, and you'll even spend a little time learning about brakes, bearings, axles, exteriors like roof and sidewall construction. You'll get this booklet that outlines everything covered in the class. You'll also receive additional resources like summaries or important takeaways from the things you learned on each day. And by important takeaways, I mean things that may or may not be on the test. You'll also get the opportunity to do some hands-on learning through what they call labs. Throughout the week, you'll break up into groups, and a different NRVTA instructor will cover in more detail specific systems and processes and how to diagnose issues you may see as an RV owner or RV technician. So expect a lot of information to be thrown at you. You may even wonder going into this class, how much can you possibly learn about all the different systems on essentially a house on wheels in 1 week? You will be drinking through a fire hose, but Todd and the rest of the crew do a phenomenal job with the pacing of the program and teaching things so that they're easy to understand. The Fundamentals course is the foundation for the additional classes they offer. But I didn't go to this school to become employed as a technician or an inspector. The reason I went to the NRVTA was simply so that I could learn more about RVs and then pass that information along on this channel. I also stayed an additional day to take the RVTAA registered technician exam so that I was registered among the industry. However, most of you probably don't have a YouTube channel, or most of you aren't interested in becoming an RV tech. And that's why I say don't go to the NRVTA to become a certified tech. I would highly recommend the Fundamentals course for anyone who owns an RV of any type, because there's a few problems with RVs. RV dealers for most people aren't just down the road, and the closest dealer may not be a dealer for your product, which could be an issue for warranty work. That's a huge inconvenience. These are big, and the fuel to move these things costs money. There's also a massive wait list that plagues the RV service industry. You take your RV in for service, you may not get it back for a couple weeks or even a couple months. That leads to the next problem. You just lost a portion of the camping season you had planned, and you may even lose some deposit money on campsites you had booked. I'm not even talking about being handy. That comes with the territory with most of the equipment you own. Being able to tighten a cabinet screw or replace a leaking faucet is important, but probably not the reasons you're taking your RV back to the dealer for repairs. So the Fundamentals course will teach you how all these different systems work. And for me, the biggest takeaway was learning the thought process behind diagnosing and repairing the issues. RV appliances use multiple systems to work. You have 12 volt DC, 120 volt AC, a propane system, and some of these appliances use all 3 systems. For example, and this is a very simplified explanation of what you'll learn, but let's say your furnace isn't working. Don't go out and check your propane cylinders, because it's not a propane issue at this point. The first step is for the thermostat to send a signal to the furnace control board. So does the thermostat have 12 volts? If not, that's the first problem. If it does, why is that thermostat not sending a signal to the furnace? It could be as simple as the thermostat temperature being set set lower than the interior temperature, or it's set to cool instead of heat. Let's say the furnace is turning on, but you're not getting any heat. That could be a DC voltage issue because the fan needs a certain amount of voltage to spin, which then activates the sail switch. If the sail switch is not engaging, the control board will never send a signal to open the gas solenoid. If the gas solenoid is opening and you're hearing the igniter tick, 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 but you still have no heat, now you may have a propane issue. And these are some of the things that you're going to learn. You're going to also learn the maintenance behind all these different systems. Something as simple as periodic vacuuming around the furnace will keep that sail switch free from dog hair, which can prevent your furnace from firing. So don't go to the NRVTA to become a certified tech. Go simply because you own an RV. Doing 1 or 2 repairs yourself could actually cover the cost of the class. You're going to meet a lot of great people as well. And if you do want to become a technician, they have some optional free courses on how to start your own mobile RV tech business. If you cannot make it to Texas for a week, they have a home study course that you can do online. Now, you won't get all the printed material and of course no hands-on labs. So I would recommend the in-person fundamentals class, but if that's not an option for you, I would equally recommend the home study course. I'll put a link with a discount code to the home study course down below. Use the link and it will save you a decent amount of money. So an interesting little thing that I learned, if you have an absorption fridge, you'll notice a drip hose that comes off the back of the fridge and exits outside of the RV. On the end of that hose is a plastic cap with a few small holes in it. These holes actually serve a purpose. So as condensate is draining from your fridge, these holes are large enough to let the water pass through. The holes are also small enough so that the last bit of water doesn't have enough pressure behind it to be forced through. The plug is similar to a valve, so when there's no water flow, it kind of works like a P-trap. It blocks the outside hot air from entering the inside of the fridge. So check and make sure that you have this plug. It actually helps a little bit with the efficiency of the fridge. I want to thank Todd, Tony, Brenda, and all the staff at the NRVTA for having me. It was an absolute pleasure and a great learning experience. Even though, Todd, you still owe me a Big Beer Battery t-shirt. I hope you learned something from today's video. Please consider subscribing, and we'll see you guys soon. Let's say the furnace is turning on, but you're not getting all the different systems essentially in a house. And if you do want to become an RV tech, they have optional